and will be suppressed and therefore won't be viewed by nearly as many people or heard by as many people. So I think it's an important conversation. So I've decided to clip it and I brought it to you here today. So let's check it out and let me know at the end what you think.
That's it. And that's where you gotta be careful. Because it's like, it took me a long time to realize that I was overdosing my friends. Okay? So typically, my friends would come over, I would take a rip just like that, and I would be like, would you like some? And they would be like, yeah, sure, man. And I'd be like, okay, what would you like to smoke out of? And I was like, oh, I'll smoke out of the same thing. And that's your first issue. No, they're not smoking out of the same thing. So I would pack them a bowl, and then, they would try to smoke that whole bowl to themselves. And I didn't realize this, but my friends would just be like, or they would be like, or like the odd time they'd get like sick, but it's like, I should have known better than to just give them the same thing. It's like, that's why you have to have a variety around. You know what I mean? Like, if you just take a look, it's like you gotta have a variety. You got the missing link piece. You got my piece. You got the dab rig. If you need, there's some glass. There's some glass right here. Little glass bowl. You know what I mean? If you want, I can roll you a joint. We can. I can do anything other than send you into a coma. And for those of you that don't think that overdosing isn't real, you got another thing coming. Because overdosing your friends on cannabis is real. You can overdose on cannabis. Do you die? No. You pass the fuck out. Some people get really anxious. Some people get really like paranoid. That's an overdose. They smoke way too much. You know what I mean? You have a friend who smoked too much. He was just so pale in his face that he looked like he was gonna vomit. That's overdose, man. If you smoke too much and you're just comatose, just sitting on the couch, you overdose, man. You overdose. So that's definitely something that you need to take into consideration, particularly those that grow their own and those that infuse their own food with cannabis, man. Because you got to remember, not everybody responds the same way to the effects of cannabis. And so, if you're not careful, you're going to really fuck someone up that isn't expecting it. You know what I mean? And that's on you. So when you grow your own, herb, typically you're supposed to say, "Oh, come on, let me show you. I got some baba kush. I got some cookies. You know what I mean? I got some gas. Can I interest you in something?" It's like, that's when you need to realize, like, okay, what's the effects of this, and what's it going to do to the person across from you? Because you want them to come back and have fun. And I've had friends that I've fucked up. And just in terms of just like too much weed and they're just like not feeling good, and the next time they come over they're like, no thanks. I'm like, oh no, try this one, it's like, I feel bad. So don't overdose your friends, man. Don't overdose your friends. Overdosing on cannabis is totally a thing. It's just not nearly as dramatic as overdosing on any other drug. You know what I mean? It would be just, using in excess at that point. It'd be similar to drinking too much water. You know what I mean? What's going to happen? Well, you're going to get bloated. You know what I mean? And are you going to get sick? Probably. If you drink too much water, you can get sick. So it's very similar to consuming cannabis. I would argue. No. Oh, too funny. The things you learn.
Today is episode 30, and this is a big one because it's Harvest Day. So today, what we need to focus on is chopping them down, but we're going to try and do whole plants in this area, make it a little bit easier. We'll chop the stalk, and we'll set the plant in the tub, ready to go and ready to be hung. In the areas where there's scrub screens, we are going to be cutting as little as possible to pull the branches through. And essentially, all I have to do is chop this all down today and hanging it in a tent. And we'll discuss a little bit of that more later as far as the process. Essentially, I'd like to get it closer to 60 degrees, 60% humidity for over 2 weeks, maybe 16 days. For today, what I really want to do is make sure that we impart some steps to the process for you to consider. So here in Colorado, it's a little bit drier, which means that I'd like to harvest the whole plant connected to all the stalk. A lot of times what I would do is actually go in here and start defoliating all these leaves that have no frost on it, so that when I do my trim work later, I'm not having to take these leaves out as I trim because they don't add anything to the hash making. They don't have any actual resin on them. And that makes it where it stages the work. I don't want to go through and do all that labor. And in Colorado, as I mentioned, it is a little bit drier, so it's nice to leave some of these leaves on as long as they're healthy and there's no problems with them, so that there's more biomass on the plant. And also for transport, I don't want to leave the buds with all the resin touching the tub, and so having the leaves kind of there will help it just a little bit. So I'm going to leave a lot of this intact. When they get hung, I'll go through it and do a little bit of defoliation just lightly, and then I will wait until they're fully dried. I'm trying to get it to go that full 16 days. These ones should have no problem. It's a one cut on the very bottom stalk, putting it in the tub, and then hanging it. Or over here, what I'm going to do is cut branches. So I've got these things which I will pull off. I'll be able to bundle some branches together in case I have to put them in the same tub for transport, and I'll label them. When I hang them, I'll label the hanger with the same identifier to make sure that the whole time I know which plant's which quadrant is which, and it makes it really easy. You can use those big like clampers that get the whole stalk. This will work. I'm going to have to just work on it a little bit. That's it. That's all we're going to do today. Later on, we're going to do a video where I actually update you on the drying process, show you part of the way through how I've done it, what the texture is like, and what you're looking for as you get closer to finishing. We're also going to have a little bit of a giveaway contest coming up soon, so be sure to subscribe. But with some downtime over the next few weeks, we'll be able to map that out
Can I
properly.
get a quick game in, or do I need to take a shit?
It's been really cool to get you in here and show you several different soil recipes. I think 4, 5, 6 different recipes, basically. One was a no-till, 4 fresh recipes. One was the take and bake. And show you that you can achieve results almost regardless of exactly which recipe. And to me, that is where the power lies. I don't want you to think there's a super secret magic recipe that'll allow you to just change the game. And there's not one product that's going to double your terps or triple your THC. This is just about discipline and process and making sure that you go through it with careful attention the entire. So by documenting this, you can see that there's still a lot of room for improvement in here.
As the sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and the very wonderful AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Obviously, they do everything big here in Dallas, and the introduction of the Cowboys, no exception. They're set for football in Big D, as their guys will do battle with the New England Patriots. Greg Zerline's got it teed up, and off we go from Arlington. On the return is J.J. Taylor. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15.
And just keep so there's a very low growing pressure on them right now during their final moments. We discussed a little bit of that thought process. I mentioned that on the farm, a lot of times the morning is the best use of labor, but I also think there's some nuances to harvesting in the morning before the plants start to grow, after they've had their last watering about 24 hours before. As far as you like, using the Timber Cypress 8, there are
1st and 10, and they've got 3 tight ends out there, a jumbo package look.
There's a little bit of a wait time because they're custom built. I really do like the lights.
This one to Bourne out on the left side. 5 yards on the game's first play, 2nd down.
He's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the second down.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. He takes this one back.
Good shit, good shit.
And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this this out because your backs are on the ground real quick.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Pats at the line, ready to go. They'll run with a former member of the Crimson Tide, Damian Harris. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that created a better way. It turned into soil, the strong cover crop, and built it up. Remaining a few down in the space we had, and he was able to manage the nutrients really well.
Now Jones. Throw left side complete. That's Harris. And past the 40 before he's out.
One of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Throwing Jones. He gets it complete to Harris. The first down screen pass, good for 5.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screen play is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle it for just a short gain.
From the 47, it's 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Jones. He finds Aguilar over the middle. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
They're just dropping completely. And so you have different ways that they act. And so there's like a rainbow of pinks and purples under here. And then these ones in the same bed. So these turn dark purple where these ones were fading. And so
looking to throw. Jones. It's complete left side to Aguilar.
Good shit.
He's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again. Good call there on first down. And Brandon, I'm getting better over the years of not screaming out, screen, screen, screen with my defensive training. They want to keep those pass rushers honest, and they did so there, and they wind up picking up positive yardage.
I'm glad you waited.
And he'll be hit as he releases it.
Free play.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he'll stand in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open good.
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Open man is Jacoby Myers. He's got it. And
Good
he
shit.
will have a Patriots first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage.
Good shit.
And he's got his target, Harris. Touchdown, Patriots. Damian Harris.
Got the red zone again.
Yards for the touchdown. And the Patriots are within an extra
Good
point
shit,
of tying
good
this
shit.
one up. Solid response that time by a young quarterback. Last drive interception, this drive the touchdown pass.
I like how you described it solid because you don't get extra kudos for bouncing back if you're going to be a big-time quarterback. You're supposed to do that. But at the same time, when you're a rookie, that's not guaranteed, is it? Sometimes they hang their heads and they go in the tank a little bit. Not in this case. Bounce back, took his team downfield, and threw a touchdown pass.
This is Tony Pollard. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
So it's not just feeling there that's up front, but it's so great. The only one that there's like a tiny bit of differentiation in this complexity. I really like it. It's got fruit and it's got feel. But this one has a very unique greatness to it, where it's not just a generic fruitiness to it. And it's like
now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
All of them. I'm really glad that we threw these. We already completely cleared out this quadrant, which is quadrant 3, and it's amazing how fast it all could be gone. And we basically reaped what we've sowed, and we sowed some really good genetics in here over the last 9.5 weeks of flower. We've seen them change from little vegetative plants into full bushy, full flowering plants. And so now we've harvested them. We get to go through the rest of the process and we can actually enjoy the fruits of our labor. And it's a really unique day. I think that the first time you harvest,
so Prescott to the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 24.
Almost undeniably invigorating. It's like Christmas.
They'll start the drive with Elliott, and they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. And trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
Good shit.
So back-to-back
Bad throw, bad throw.
That's going to bring up a 3rd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter.
Especially if they appreciate that stuff. So I just want to take a moment to reflect on that.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott.
I went into this, so on this quadrant.
Terrible pass.
Picked off by Dante Hightower. And he'll bring this one back to the 29.
Yeah, he's just trying to throw this ball into the
Bad pass, fellas.
And close quickly, especially in the middle of the field. So the timing's not right. We'll see interceptions like that one right there.
Give my rock back.
Jones on 1st down.
Come on, y'all gotta come up, baby.
And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football and to catch him off balance.
Okay.
And he did not want to go down there as he carries tacklers for a solid gain of 9.
Good shit.
Some good strong running right there, some power and some explosiveness. Just about got him into the end zone.
And just a yard to go here on 2nd down.
So there's a few different things that I can do.
Here's Johnson. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not very generous.
One more time.
It looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 3. He got 2. Now that'll set up an interesting situation here on 4th and a yard. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
And then in your hanging area, you can either put a cord or a line, hangers on that. Some people don't use a hanger, they use a wire or a string and put branches on it. The idea is to have the flexibility of grouping them together a little bit to slow that drawing down when you have to go to individual branches. So I hope that makes sense. Give it a back spot, slow down the drawing,
They'll try and roll with a fullback Johnson.
Let him in there. Good shit.
For a Patriot touchdown. Punching it in from a yard.
Good shit. Good shit.
And the Patriots have taken the lead. Full connects on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7.
And not letting them get dominated by a big play. So
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
Maximizing his yield. I'm not going to choose the biggest yield.
And no return. This one's the fair catch. A signal for and take it.
Still plenty time. Still plenty time.
So if that makes sense. Yield is not the most important, but it certainly is important because we don't want to waste life and time on something that yields.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. That 7-0 lead in there is short-lived as they've now given up 2 straight touchdowns to fall behind by 7.
Yeah, but no cause for discouragement here. Yeah, they've fallen behind, but haven't they proven that they can come out and score? So what was the formula to get them down there the first time? Get back to something close to that, and maybe they get this game tied up.
Appreciate every one of you commenting here. I didn't expect this much interaction.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
People called in and we can reference the video maybe to help them, and it's really blown my mind. And it's making a bigger difference than I anticipated. And I forget over the years these little steps.
Fuck that up. Good shit. Good shit. Good shit.
Patriots are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here's Jones on 1st and 10. It's brought in by Harris. He's got the first down and more inside the 40.
Good shit.
Texas just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A big play there for the Patriots. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Back to throw. Jones.
Damn, he burnt the shit out them motherfuckers, boy. Good shit.
There to make the grab.
It ain't looking good, fellas. Can we come back?
Extra point up and good by 5.
Get this shit here.
21-7.
Shit got ugly fast, fellas.
Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
My fault, fellas. Let me make shit right. Let me make it right.
2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball, try to get things settled down a little bit.
Let me make shit right, fellas.
And they're already just shy of midfield. Prescott to throw it. He'll fire deep downfield from Will. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Well, I'm supposed to catch up to him.
And the Pats are going to take possession here. It's a
Good deed, good deed.
They'll take over at the 20-yard line.
Nothing in here, clean all the lights out, clean the floors out. So lots of work in the next few weeks, but it's business as usual.
30 seconds remain in this first half as they come up here 1st and 10.
I'm not going to show the whole thing. It's just the same as the rest. I'll pull it through the street, and we're going to hang it. I will document.
Throwing to start the drive. Jones. Open man is Myers. Now the Patriots will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half.
Misinformation from Brian.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Looking to throw. Jones. Out right to go. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line.
I I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection.
So I'm hoping that I can address moving forward. Make sure that we keep on learning.
Jones now throwing on first down.
Come on, man, make that play.
As the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones.
Burnt him.
This one to Bourne, and he's got it. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A big play there for the Patriots.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
They'll look to throw again.
That's a good pass.
Complete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on.
Look at my linebacker. Concentrate on my linebacker.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Both teams making their final preparations
We're in trouble,
for the
fellas.
second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin.
Better warm up fast.
And we welcome you back now alongside Charles Davis operating gun, getting set for quarter number 3 here. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football.
Alright, fuck it.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
Do what we gotta do.
And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Here's 2nd and 10. Prescott now. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Lamb. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football. Right now, I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Now this throw caught left side. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
And again, it's Prescott. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man.
Yeah, we got one of them too.
Cowboys. Tony Pollard, 34 yards. And the Cowboys get a bit closer. So Dak will bring the Cowboys up to go for the 2-point try.
Let's be concerned about the score. Maybe just stays put as much as we can.
Prescott, they're going to throw for it. And he'll get in for the 2 points as that'll cut the lead down from 11 to 9. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
It's critical for all the people.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. And they were terrific in the first half, built up a sizable lead, and it's just been cut into a bit following the opening drive score on the other side. But this is a unit that has to be itching to get the football again.
And you can say that again. They've got to be pretty eager because, let's face it, they've had to sit through halftime, then sit on the sidelines and watch that drive. So you can bet that they're saying, let's get on with this. We got to go out there and get some more points.
They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. On the give, this is Harris.
How you missed that?
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game. That's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides. But to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
Good shit. Good shit.
Corralled out across midfield down to the 45.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They run the counter. It's Harris.
Fuck myself up.
And
That
past the
good shit.
35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 42 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Now a 2nd down and 6.
Need this turnover right here, fellas.
They run the counter. It's Harris.
Oh, damn, boy.
Inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Right now, you see California signing and everything. This is simple.
They hand this off to Harris. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They run the counter. Harris.
Faking myself
Take this
out.
one inside the 10, down to the 8. A 3-yard pick.
Because the cover crops protect the soil.
Tighten up, fellas.
I got invited to go to the White House. I got corner.
Shit, let me pitch too. Right on time. Let's roll.
On 2nd and 4, now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard.
All right, fellas, 4th quarter. What's going on? We got to get this turnover.
This 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Got to get this turnover, fellas. Let these motherfuckers in.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. Now we'll run with a fullback Johnson.
He got it. All right.
Tackled at the 5.
5 more yards to go and no first downs to stop him.
Really want a big body guy running the football, but I have to tell you, watching him run it, I wonder why they don't use him more earlier in the game.
Yeah, those bigger guys here late in the game, you're trying to protect the lead, usually not as fumble prone either.
No, that is so true because they are taught. Take care of the ball as you surge forward, and you often see them with both hands wrapped around it when they go through the line.
Look at that
And he's
hole.
over the line and into the end zone.
That's on me.
Patriot score.
That might be game,
Harris,
fellas.
his second touchdown of the afternoon, and the Patriots add 6 to their lead. So the Patriot offense stays out there, and they'll line up and go for 2. They'll give it to the fullback.
Okay, good looking out.
And he tries to power
Down by
forward,
2.
but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
0 for whatever for onside kicks.
Pollard elects to keep it, and this will come out to the 25-yard line.
That's what we got in the bag.
About set for this next drive.
What we got in the bag, baby.
After the long touchdown drive we just saw, you wonder if maybe that's taken a little of the wind out of this offense's sails because they had it going pretty good last time. And it looked like he got the feet down, did he? Yes, it's a catch. A big play here for Dallas.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice
Okay, I take it, I take it.
A heck of a chunk of yardage.
First down, Prescott. Throwing left
Okay,
side,
okay.
it's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cowboys cut into that lead. All right, so the Cowboys will go for 2 here. They'll look to throw. Complete at the 1. And he will get it.
Hey, how about that?
To cut the lead a little bit further.
Play some defense, fellas.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Taylor now from the end zone.
Woo!
And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Hi, and welcome to my lesson on creating and caring for cannabis plant plants. The objective of this lesson is to explain what plants are, provide some how to properly care for a clone, and provide some professional tips to ensure your personal experiences.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. This game has really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here.
What the fuck? Fucking up. You got to put that shit back in the air, cuz.
They've got to put something together right here. Otherwise, they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Harris going to get it again on second down. And he'll find some space up to about the 25.
Y'all let him get that bullshit off.
Rushing forward now in the ball game.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive game. Just keep that clock ticking.
This makes for an easier grow and less trial and error.
This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Back to throw. Jones escaping the pressure right. Picks up the first before
Good shit.
taken down at the 29. That is an absolute
Good shit.
backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the 4th. Again, it's Harris on second down.
Oh, come on, man.
Gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Good
This is
shit.
an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Master, you said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital here.
Transition from plant to cloning station. Soak your starter cubes in water, a few minutes should do. Have your cloning gel ready,
Fuck
and a
it.
glass of water. Pour it to place the clippings.
And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life.
Once you scrape the bottom of the cone, place it directly in water with red bubbles for
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And that one hits it to somebody, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do?
Good
You
tackle.
can go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
A first down carry by Elliott.
Good shit, good shit, good shit.
Goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Partner, you get about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Meanwhile, Dak's throw complete into the hands of Schultz here. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 37. Now Prescott.
Ah, good game, my dude.
Devin McCourty picks it off.
Guys, a bad throw.
Have just about sewn up this football game.
Bad throw,
That
fellas.
was a little bit of a wrinkle in their
It's all
comeback bid.
good.
Yeah, everything had turned around for them, hadn't it? I mean, things were now going their way. But you didn't
Good game, man. Good game.
It's not the death knell for them by any stretch, but now they get some extra
Good warm up, though. Good warm up.
all the way back.
Check me out on the league games later on. I ain't mad at y'all, fellas. Good comeback.
The Patriots in the victory formation as they'll take the knee. So this will wind up a victory for the New England Patriots.
Let's try one more game, though, before we get a workout in.
Speed up root growth and strengthen the plant base. Depending on your harvest goals, consider where you're taking your clipping from on the grower plant. Clippings at the bottom generally have are all ready. Make sure that they're getting the right amount of light and water.
Be a
The
problem.
temperature is warm enough for them to thrive. Try to use supplements when possible to speed up the root and plant growth, such as diluted flowering.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the heart of Texas and the very wonderful AT&T Stadium in Arlington. A moment ago, here was the scene with the Cowboys emerging from their tunnel. It was loud. It's still loud. We're ready for football as the Cowboys get set to match up with Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks. Greg Zuerlein's got it teed up, and off we go from Arlington.
Please like and share this video, and as always, thank you for listening.
Reed going to bring it out of the end zone. And no run back here, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Moto YouTube channel. This video we're going to look at how to control the conditions in your grow room to get maximum yield. The conditions in your grow room you should be looking at are the ones which affect photosynthesis. You will see here in the diagram the inputs into photosynthesis are light, which is the engine that drives everything.
This is the Oklahoma State alum.
Turn around, dude. Make that tackle.
Get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, second and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Maintaining a good level of CO2 with good ventilation. Temperature controls the rate at which photosynthesis is going to occur, so you need to maintain that in a balance.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. They go play action now. Wilson. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
As you increase
Second and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now it's Carson, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
With the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way down.
Come on, make that play, bro.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
There we go.
And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Offensively, a far from ideal start there with a pick on the opening drive.
Yeah, not exactly what they were looking for. We know that. That's pretty obvious. The beauty, though, is it's happening early. If they don't panic, they don't compound this problem, they've got a long way to go and a chance to get back in it.
To achieve 800 micromoles per meter square per second. If you're using really high efficiency LEDs, it'll drop down to about 30 watts per square foot or about 250 watts per square foot. So expect the light.
So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
What the fuck, man?
And this is not the way to start a drive. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they
I'm
must
having
have been
some technical difficulties over this motherfucker.
The play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Above that, Ant gets under stress, and it has to basically transpire or sweat a lot more water in order to maintain its temperature.
All right, I need at least 7 on this shit.
This series after the delay of game, 1st and 15.
Higher temperatures. Lower than that, and then
The give is to Elliott.
Come on,
Take
man.
this up only to about his 18-yard line. Cody Barton there to bring him down.
But obviously they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead now, they're dealing with second and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now.
Protect it, be careful that it doesn't get any cold shock at night, which will stunt its growth. So to control the temperature within the growing, you can use your
Hike the fucking ball, man.
On 2nd and 12, Prescott. And that falls to the ground, incomplete.
Yeah, man, on some bullshit.
Defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get it, and sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now.
Look at this shit.
Back at the 8-yard line. Carlos Dunlap, the Florida Gator, chopping his way to the quarterback. Here's Brian Anger now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone.
To keep the ground cool while the lights are on. If you want to keep the temperature up at a higher level, just slow down.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Seahawks will have great field position to start this drive. They take over on the short side of the field.
And they will vary the speed of the fan to keep you growing within that temperature, and it's highly recommended. If you're still struggling, you can then, if it's in winter and summer, you can use an additional heater with a thermostat control.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Dumps this one off to Chris Carson. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
Here at about 390 parts per million. Increased, obviously, recently in terms of greenhouse gases and all of that. But that's the normal level that's at. And not that growing at the rates we're talking about with light levels up to about 800 micromoles per meter squared per second, you can get marginal increases in grow rate by increasing the CO2 a little bit. You can use mushroom bags or the yeast canisters.
Wilson after the play fake to Carson.
Your CO2 a little bit.
To the right side and complete to Metcalf. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And the Seahawks are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line. Football here to start quarter number 2 as they go to work on a 1st and goal.
And then you can use CO2 canisters.
There's Wilson.
To maintain.
This is caught. Touchdown. Chris Carson from 6 yards away as his guys are first onto the scoreboard here this afternoon. Jason Myers now for the extra point. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead.
With air conditioning and CO2 systems. But commercial guys like some of their goals and they're stuck where they want to just really maximize their area.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away.
Last one to measure. It's probably the most difficult one to control.
This one will come out to the 25 as Pollard is going to elect not to return it.
In that, when a room is humid, the rate of transpiration, the rate of sweating of your plants.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Plants, particularly with dense buds and flowers, you get added element of risk, which is good luck.
Now Elliott. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 40 now on second down. Prescott swinging this out for Pollard. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield. Everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield. And he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
Prescott's throw pulled in by Lamb. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Touchdown, Cowboys! Tony Pollard for 21 yards away. And the Cowboys are an extra point away from tying the football game. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him, and you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
Into the end zone. Zerline connects on the extra point, and we are tied here in the second quarter.
For about 65 to 80 degrees Fahrenheit.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Having a relative humidity.
This is DJ Reed returning. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
You don't want to run that BPD, that's not critically important. Just keep your temperatures within that band. And your humidity in the band is spoken about. So temperature is 25 to 30 degrees Celsius and humidity around 70 to 80%. It's quite complex.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tackle.
Steve, come on, man, catch that shit.
Points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Wilson. That's caught by his tight end, Jeremy.
That's on me.
And he's brought down
Out of position.
Very nice game.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people.
I'll be on the play next time.
Absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. He hits his target, Lockett. And they will get him down, but not before he gets very good yardage there, as that will lead us right into the 2-minute warning. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. 43 yards on the ground for him so far. The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They go play action with Wilson.
Here we go.
Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And the Cowboys are going to have the football here at their own 18-yard line. Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or worst, a punt. This time they had that opportunity.
Good shoestring.
Because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows the defense to tighten up their coverage, and they pick that one off.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Throwing, Prescott. That is caught by Lamb. And And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Prescott looks to throw on first. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
That was a nice grab. Just couldn't get the feet down, right? You need that toe tap sequence there. Whatever size shoe he's wearing, probably need about a half size smaller to complete that one.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Prescott. Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. To the air again, Prescott. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. A first down throw for Prescott.
My fault. Good shit. Good shit.
By the Seahawk defense. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. A lot of ground to cover. 2nd and 22. Another try after the first down sack. Prescott.
Out of bounds, out of bounds, out of bounds.
Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion.
Let me get back in range then, god damn it.
Coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. To throw is Prescott. Over the middle, complete. That's Schultz. 14 yards, but they're still well shy of a first as that leads to 4th down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So the turnover leads to points as they add 3 there.
Yeah, what a sequence there, and a nice one for them. They forced the interception, put together a little drive, and then come away with 3 points. Nothing to it, partner. Just do it.
Kicks it on the ground with a squib, taken around the 28. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
Both teams making their final preparations for the second half of action. So with that, let's get you back out to Arlington, where we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gordon, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. Now Pollard. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation and pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They go to Elliott again. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
A big hole there. How about him handle the point of attack? Just positioning himself so that run could go right off of his backside and deep into the secondary.
Like a quarter turn for a foot. And then make sure the three steers around really slows it up. So that's something else we're going to do. I'm going to show you all the stuff.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Lamb. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big play that time through the air. 34 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Again to Elliott. Big Al Woods there to make the tackle.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Again, it's Elliott. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard, so it's back to 3rd and 10. Now Prescott.
Good D.
He throws there, incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
And Zerline's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though. 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the 2nd half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
This is Carson. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. 53 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at him and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Meanwhile, Wilson's throw into the hands of Lockett. That catch good for only a couple. Off the play fake, here's Wilson.
Good shit, good shit.
Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Leighton Vander Esch. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Well, this is one heck of an individual performance we're witnessing. That is now his 3rd interception. And keep in mind, folks, this isn't a safety or a quarterback. This is a linebacker.
Does this feel to you like he's having a flashback? Because a lot of these linebackers we see in the NFL, in high school, they were offensive stars. They touched the football all the time. It's like he said to himself, let's go back and put on the leather jacket and go get the football. How about this one? 3 interceptions thus far.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Here's Prescott. Open man, right side, it's Lamb. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. And that is is going to do it for this third quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. The Cowboys on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. He finds his target. It's Schultz. And he will have a Cowboys first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
Tackle made by Rasheem Green. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Prescott. And he'll go underneath here to Elliott. He goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
It works really good.
The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. It's a keeper with Prescott. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. Only a few inches needed on the sneak. He didn't get it, and now it's 4th down.
They gain nothing, and all they need are inches.
What?
Usually we put this on the offensive line, but sometimes it's the quarterback's fault as well on the sneak. You've got to get low and burrow.
Usually we talk about O-line surge. Their D-line surge leading to 4th. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
Well, they didn't accomplish their goal. They didn't get a stop there, gave up another first down. They have all 3 timeouts in their pocket. I think defensively, you've got to start thinking about using them here.
I was just going to ask you at what point you think now's the go time?
I think now's the go time. I don't think you sit back and wait because they can take a lot of time off the clock between plays and run 3 to 4 and really put you in a stressful spot.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal.
I actually save it on my disk from what I cut. And so once you cut one, you can use your disk as a guide.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Cowboys will extend their lead.
We talk so often about how hard it is to win in the NFL when you turn the ball over. And here a late turnover leads to a 4th quarter touchdown and a 2-score lead.
And what's more important is being able to take advantage when a turnover presents itself. You've got to come up with points to make the other guy pay. They're able to do so here, and they've got a pretty good chance now of winning this football game.
Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Here's Reed returning. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
I'll go to a restaurant by myself. So I didn't have any people. I'm too insecure to sit there. So since I didn't have a travel partner, I did not go to the buffet, and I just ate like that.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Play action. It's Wilson. He's going to sling this deep down.
Good shit.
And got his man complete. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That's going to leave.
Hi, you lying cook.
With just one remaining here in this fourth quarter. And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. Play action. Now Wilson. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw again is Wilson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Jordan Lewis. And the Cowboys are going to take possession
Good game, my dude.
at their own 47-yard line. All smiles and high fives on that defensive sideline. That interception will cap off what was truly a tremendous performance.
And that'll do it. It's a warm up.